What happened to the YouTuber? It seemed like yesterday everyone wanted to be a YouTuber, but in 2025, there has been a shift. These are definitely strong words, but I think there's been such a strong enough shift that makes me truly wonder, is the YouTuber dead? Like, I know that sounds crazy, but the concept of being a YouTuber, as we formerly knew it, is that dead? As you can see on the screen, like back in the day, what the biggest content creator looked like compared to now is just completely different in terms of like the platforms that they use and exactly who they are and the content that they make. Damn, I really sound old saying this because this was truly my childhood, but back in my day, all right, Unc Soul's in the building, being a YouTuber was synonymous with being a content creator. Like they went hand in hand. You ask someone if they want to be a content creator, the response was, yeah, I want to be a YouTuber. And we just kept on pushing. But now, if you say that, you can get a bunch of different responses. Like, ask someone if they want to be a content creator right now, they might respond with being a TikToker, being a streamer, being a podcaster, being an influencer. Specifically, maybe there's distinctions right there, but these are the answers that you're gonna get from people nowadays. And I think looking at the creators that have blown up, not just in 2025, but over the last, I would say 3 to 4 years, they are not YouTubers, at least in the traditional sense. As you can see on the screen right now, we're looking at guys like Keith Lee, Drewski, Alex Earl, Queso, Joe Rogan, Speed, Alex Cooper. These are not what I would at least consider YouTubers. And let me define what a YouTuber is to me, like in the context of this video. I define a YouTuber as someone who makes dedicated, edited, long form, horizontal YouTube videos. That's what I'm thinking of in my head. So going back to this slide, I'm thinking Casey Neistat, I'm thinking David Dobrik, I'm thinking Emma Chamberlain, right? When you look at the content creators blowing up right now, that's just not what they're doing. Also, there's this other separate phenomenon going on of former YouTubers turning into different types of content creators, right? Like, I understand right now, a lot of y'all found out about Kai Cenat through streaming, but Kai Cenat has been a very, very big content creator prior to streaming. Like, when I found out about Kai Cenat, he already had, I'm pretty sure he was closing in on 1 million subscribers, right? Like, a very, very huge platform that he already had. People like DDG, Agent, right, before they started streaming, very, very huge, but now they've shifted their content to streaming. Emma Chamberlain, she's transformed into a podcaster primarily, I would say, or like an influencer type. James Charles, especially back in, you know, the prime Hype House days, definitely like rode that wave and became a true TikToker in my opinion. Logan Paul, I knew Logan Paul as a vlogger, but nowadays he's known as a wrestler and a podcaster primarily, at least in my opinion. So the next question is what caused the shift? What the fuck happened? I think first we have to look internally at YouTube and its creators. And I even felt this personally. And I've firsthand seen other creators tell this to me. And I've heard other creators say this. Being a YouTuber felt like the harder route. It continuously, slowly but surely kept on feeling like it was the harder route to not only grow as a content creator, but to make money as well. I mean, just think about it, right? Like when you're starting off as a YouTuber, you know, solo YouTuber, because a lot of y'all don't have the capital to hire a staff, hire an editor, all of these different things. The amount of hats that you have to wear is absolutely insane when you really think about it, right? Like you have to be, what do I have over here? A graphic designer, an idea thinker, an on-camera talent, a videographer, a writer, a video editor, and you also have to, you know, play the networking game in all of this. And now we have YouTubers who have whole ass teams where every single one of the tasks I just mentioned, someone is getting paid good money to do just that one task. Like that's a lot of work to do. Now, I do think as a person who has gone through this whole process as a part of OG YouTube, I think it has made me a better content creator in the long run, being able to know what these different hats are and how to operate them. But for a lot of people, that's a very, very big learning curve. And I'm gonna just keep it real. The motivation that a lot of people had to create content wasn't necessarily to become a video editor or a graphic designer. They wanted to be a voice, right? They wanted to be people with influence. They wanted to be storytellers, all these different things. But because of how YouTube works, it kind of forces you to learn skills that you really have no interest in, you know what I'm saying? And also, the work that you have to put in to output one piece of content compared to the field, especially nowadays, it's just a lot, you know what I'm saying? You have to come up with the idea, the thumbnail, you have to record the video, you have to edit it.
Okay, so I just posted my first ever YouTube video, right? I just feel like the girlies didn't tell me enough how hard it actually is to start a YouTube. Whoa. Secondly, the editing. Babe, it took me a cool 3 days total to edit it and get it to how I really liked it.
People think this shit easy, man. This YouTube stuff is not easy, bro. Like, people think this shit is just, oh, like, people will be like, bro, I gotta get on that YouTube, man. That YouTube money hit different. Like, sometimes behind people that look like they don't do too much, it's a lot behind that. It took a lot of nights, nigga, where I threw a lot of this shit up and it didn't hit nothing. You know what I'm saying?
You know, it's not that big of a deal now, but there was definitely a time people were trying to figure out what to put in the description and figure out SEO and all these different things. Like, bro, a lot goes into one solid long form YouTube video. Like, even for people who have been watching this channel specifically, like, this used to be a stream highlights, you know what I'm saying, podcast highlights, even full podcast channel. So you can see it on this channel specifically. The amount of work that we put into one of these videos now compared to the amount of work we were putting in prior to those clips for one piece of content is much more now. That's just a fact. And please, I implore y'all to literally ask someone who doesn't do YouTube but is doing content on TikTok or somewhere else, literally ask them how they feel about starting a YouTube channel. And I swear, a lot of these people, when you ask them that question, their response is, I don't know, bro, like YouTube is a lot. YouTube is intimidating. Like, I get the pros, you know what I'm saying? I get the benefits of it, but like, YouTube is endgame, and I just don't feel like I'm there yet. That is what they're answering. Like, I'm being serious. So, as with anything in capitalism, really, when there's a pain point in the market, it gets addressed by the market or by other people in the market. And the way the market addressed all of this is the introduction of easier content formats. Now, what do I mean by this? I really mean this in two ways. One is like platforms coming about that have really changed the game. I'm gonna just keep it a bean. I'm talking about TikTok right now. And two is different types of content formats being embraced more by the culture and creators and viewers, all the same, all alike, right? So let's talk about the TikTok boom specifically, right? I think TikTok made content creation and going viral the easiest it's ever been from all fronts. This is a whole new platform with a whole new even, you know, type of way of consuming videos that came out and encourages people to make quick, short videos all on their phone. Like, it is encouraged for you to do it all on your phone. It also offers a bunch of different like creative tools within the product that are very fun and easy to use, like, you know, green screens, sounds, filters, all these different things, right? All within this product. And for a lot of people, what TikTok ultimately signified was a lower barrier to content creation, and not only a lower barrier to content creation, a lower barrier to becoming the next viral thing. So when you make even creating the content easier and you make going viral easier, that's a hit. That is a hit. But the other easy content format that I really think changed the game, and it's really two, but they kind of sort of, like, there's a lot of overlap in them, is streaming and podcasting. Because these are two content mediums that are record and go. Like, that's ultimately what these, you know, content mediums are. I understand you can edit a podcast. I understand, you know, you can plan out streams, especially nowadays. But for the most part, this is very hit record, hit go live, and boom, we are creating content right now, like right now. These are also content mediums that are inherently more casual, right? Like, you know, conversations and just being an outlooker into conversations is very different from watching a curated, highly edited YouTube video. You know, same thing with live streaming, right? Like the dead space and all of that is a part of what makes it more casual. And you can even mix the two, right? Because now you have people, me, doing podcasts as live streams. Now you have this option where, one, you can just record and go. Two, you can make money as you're recording the content. And three, you just worry about marketing it like after you do the content. Like, it's just a completely different mentality shift when you're trying to grow a stream and a podcast, because instead of YouTube being a platform where you create like dedicated videos from, it just becomes like this marketing vehicle to grow your podcast or to grow your stream. You're not actually creating content for YouTube. You're repurposing and clipping up your streams and your podcast, putting them up as YouTube videos with the hope that they do well, and that is how people find like your main podcast. That wasn't the mindset for the average YouTuber back in the day. It was, how can I make the next video as big as it can? Like that's what it is. Or that's what it was, excuse me. But speaking to that, I think that's another reason why streaming and podcasting has become appealing to creators, is that it provides a level of like repeatableness and structure to content creation, where every single upload, it doesn't feel like make or break. You know what I'm saying? That feeling of every upload being make or break is what caused a lot of YouTubers back in the day to burn out. And I think it's the combination of all these different things. All of these things are the reason as to why the new content megastars aren't YouTubers. And these are also the reasons why former YouTubers who were maybe even doing well on YouTube, this is why they switched over to other different content types. But also, this could just be a massive overthink on my part. Like, certain creators are just copycats. I'm gonna just say it. Like, there may be a collective of people that grow doing this one thing, whether that's streaming, you know, TikTok, podcasting, and then other creators who are already established just see that, right? And their thing is, oh, this is the new wave. Oh, this is the new meta. I gotta get on that. This is what everyone else is doing. I just gotta get on that. Like, it's not an actual justification from a content perspective. It's just, yo, this is the new meta. Like, I'm telling you, this is literally the terminology that creators use. Streaming's the meta, bro. Like, gotta get on that. Like, yo, everyone's podcasting. Gotta start my own podcast, right? Like, it's dumb. It really is, because I think another part of this is like, more people really need to reevaluate if their strengths and weaknesses are better suited for different platforms. Like, I feel like there's definitely a collective of people now that see what Kai Cenat or what Alex Cooper is doing and saying, yo, if I gotta, you know, if I want to get into content creation, I have to stream. Like, I have to be a podcaster.
Most people think streaming is easy. You just spark it up. You know, anybody could do it. Anybody could give it a try, for sure. I think people that want to give it a try, 100% should give it a try. One, I wouldn't recommend streaming for anybody who just generally doesn't fall in love with it, or just generally doesn't have any interest in it and just wants to do it for money, or wants to do it because they see it's a new trend.
Well, no, your skill set might actually be better fit as a YouTuber. It could actually be streaming, but what if it's on YouTube, right? What if it's being a podcaster? Like, all these different things are intermingling, but people just have these like preconceived notions as to what the meta is now, and they just run with it, when that's not the case. I think the beauty of YouTubers not being the main thing anymore is that it's a signal that different types of content creators can succeed in their own ways. You know what I'm saying? So I've been talking a lot about the creator's perspective right now, but a very big part of this, because these are consumer platforms, is the viewer. And I think with the TikTok shift happening, and with the streaming and podcast shift happening, YouTube for a lot of viewers just felt too in the middle. You know what I'm saying? What is that saying that they say? You know, jack of all trades, master of none. That's what YouTube kind of felt like. Like, if I wanted short and digestible content, I'm going to TikTok, right? If I want more in-depth, more intimate, more raw content, I'm going to live streaming. I want to watch or listen to a podcast. Like, that's the content that I want to consume if I'm in that mindset. Like, for a lot of people, it just feels like traditional YouTube videos just sit too much in the middle, where there's too much fluff, right? Like, there's a lot of content on YouTube that do not need to be 12 fucking minutes. All of it could have been summarized in 60 seconds. Like, I'm being so serious. But it's also like not long enough to provide all the nuance and detail that I really, really want from a certain topic. So that begs the question, is YouTube dead? Is YouTube, so no, okay, no, the platform itself is not dead at all actually. And even if we want to scope it down to YouTubers, even by my definition, there are still a lot of YouTubers succeeding on this platform every single day. There are still a lot of opportunities on YouTube. There are still small content creators growing on YouTube. And I think the opportunity in YouTube that I think a lot of people really aren't seeing, and the numbers really do back this up, is how big YouTube has become on TV specifically. Like, I think there's a stat out there that more people actually use YouTube on their TVs now than Netflix. Like, that's crazy, y'all. That is insane. So if you put it on that lens, like, YouTube videos have low-key now become short-form TV content. Like, that's low-key what it is. Even at home, that's kind of how we consume YouTube, right? Like, we're sitting on the couch, we're trying to figure out what to watch. I don't want to dive in and watch a whole hour-long episode right now. So let's find something on YouTube that we can put on, you know, for the next 10, 20, 30 minutes and just like casually watch it. Like, I think that's a very, very big use case for YouTube right now. And I think for creators, it's not that the platform is dead. It's just no longer the default. Like I said earlier, YouTuber and content creator used to be this is crazy. Used to be synonymous. It used to be interchangeable. But now in 2025, that's just not the case. Like, I think more people want to be known and be labeled as stuff like, I want to be a lifestyle influencer, right? I want to be a podcaster. I want to be a streamer. I want to be an analyst. I want to be a comedian, a storyteller, an educator. Like, this is the lens that people are thinking of now. And like, platforms are just becoming like marketing utilities to achieve these different labels. And while nostalgia plays a big part of this for me, because old YouTube will always have a very special place in my heart. You know what I'm saying? That's what really drew me into content creation. I think ultimately this is good. This is ultimately a good thing. I don't think creators should really have platform loyalty. And I think creators should be thinking in a way where you should know or try to figure out the creator that you want to be, and, you know, try different things to find out that process. But ultimately, all these different platforms are just vehicles for you to build and be the content creator that you want to be. Also, a lot of content creators now are multi-platform, so it's not a question of like picking one thing. It's trying to build this overarching holistic brand throughout all different socials. But with everything that I talked about today, I am still very convinced that the next big content creator, influencer, internet person, whoever that is, it is not gonna be a YouTuber. It's not gonna be this person who primarily makes long form, offline edited videos and upload them to YouTube. If I'm proven wrong, hey, I would love to see it. I would love to see it. But by that definition, I do think the YouTuber, the pure YouTuber, you know how basketball people call motherfuckers pure hoopers? The pure YouTuber, that shit is dead. That shit is dead, unfortunately. Fortunately, I don't know. But that's my take, all right? With that being said, let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section down below. And I'm out of here, man. Peace.